This is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Dragons and Pioneer. Still trying out my Sarkhan Solar Flame. I made a couple changes, mostly to the mana base. Well, and one big change to the actual dragons. Took out Goldspan Dragon in favor of Boneyard Dracosaur, which seems like a pretty sweet and fun dragon to play, even if it doesn't have haste. And it's most of the text on it won't ever show up on Sarkhan since it's a upkeep trigger versus ETB or attack trigger. So we have a Torch the Tower we can do if that's what our opponent's up to. We can follow that up with Questing Druid. Snow Covered Island. Another Domri's not really. Ooh. I guess I should have read that one better. I thought that was going to be one of my Spire Bluff Canal cards, and I was wrong. That's okay. So the reality here is we would have liked to have Seek the Beast. I think that was going to be my play, but this card is not. This card's better in the late game when we have a lot of mana, and if we find a dragon, we can cast it. So theoretically, we cast this and we hit a land and a dragon. We get the land, but we don't get the dragon. Spectral Sailor. Alright, so it looks like we're playing a Spirits deck. Which, I mean, depending on what they do with their next turn, could be fine. We do have the Torch the Tower to do something as a way of interacting. Mausoleum Wanderer. Whenever another spirit you control enters, this creature gets +1/+1. Sacrifice this creature, counter target instant or source spell. Okay. So mono blue spirits. I mean, that's fine. They can counter this if they want by sacrificing it, since we're killing it anyway. Prevent the exile, I suppose. Alright, well then we're going to... Man. So we can... I mean, Domri into Land War seems like pretty powerful play. It sets us up for any dragon on the battle, that we draw that we can play. Sarkhan though is why we came here to Sarkhan. I just think we gotta get the Domri down while we can. Because it makes things uncounterable. And that's a huge thing for us, see if they have the answer. Spell Pierce. Okay, well, that's why we're playing Domri. Because we know their counter magic is going to be good against us. Well, we still have a counter spell. We still have another one we can run out. Can also land War Elves, then question or then Seek the Beast on our opponent's end step. See if they have an answer. No white source, so if this is blue-white spirits, we don't have to worry about Spell Queller. But triple blue has me a little bit concerned. Spell Pierce, man. I thought we had that window. Now I'm just like, you look at those 3 blue spells and you're like, alright, everything's going to get countered. Another Mystic. So I think we're going to play an Elf. Hold up our manas for... Rattle Chains, let's see. So this is on our end step. I think we can Seek the Beast. Alright, well, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. So Spirits is tricky. I mean, they have all this instant speed stuff. They're blue, so they have counter magic. But we do have some tools to fight against them. We have our own negates, which don't line up well with spirit, right? The creatures, but maybe some of their own can take some of their hate. We have our flyers are bigger. We have sweepers. We have cheap removal. So the lag though is real. Other spirits you control get +1/+1. That seems pretty good for our opponent. Hope this is recording. I had it on full screen. I think we'll seek the beast now, just in case they have a second land drop. And then they have some sort of counter magic. They could have another spell pierce. If they have another spell pierce, that's not the end of the world for us, because that means we'll probably get the Domri to stick. Alright, so we have got another Domri. Cool. And we hit a land, that's important. Comes in tapped, unfortunately, so we're not going to be able to pay for the spell pierce with the layer of the Hydro land. Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest. That changes the equation a little bit too, because now we really want to just cast Sarkhan into Dragonhawk. We're definitely playing this land. I mean, it definitely pains me to let the Domri go, but since they're holding up Spell Pierce mana anyway, there's a good chance it won't resolve. And then we'll have taken a whole turn off again to try to cast something that they then counter. And we have a second Domri in our hand, so we don't. It's sad. If we hadn't drawn the Dragonhawk, I might have been tempted to run out the Domri into counter magic. They're realizing that this is not a Planeswalker that they can't use Spell Pierce for. Ha! What up, opponent? Gotcha. And this sets us up next turn if they do tap down or something else to Dragonhawk and get a little bit of a dream going. We're taking a big hit though. We're going to be taking 6, if not more, especially if they flash in something. So I think we made the right choice. We could have played the Domri, would have gotten Spell Pierced. This does set us up nicely for a few different lines. So if we don't take a big hit, they tap down. Even if they do, and well, they could easily have bounce spells. But the Dragonhawk swing in. If we stack our triggers correctly, get them to hit them for 13, and then they're on a 2. Then they're dead the next turn if they don't answer the Dragonhawk. Meanwhile, we're taking a big hit. Yep. 3-turn clock currently. So it looks like they're going to have probably some kind of shenanigans as far as counter magic goes, but I mean, we just got to go for it. If they have the counter magic, they have the counter magic. Oh wait, I have to undo some stuff. Because it costs 1 less. Isn't that nice? Sarkhan, aren't you nice? Reducing our mana, our dragon's cost. Here comes a counterspell of some sort. Guy Snare. Man, that's another spirit. Or it's a spirit counterspell, sure. We do not have the mana for that. And we might just be dead to the Flyers at this point. We did draw another Dragonhawk, which is good, but we're on such a fast clock that I don't think it's going to matter. So next turn we'll play if we play this Dragonhawk, well, yeah, we can hit him for 13 down to 5, 4, 3, but that's not dead. And then we only have the 1 blocker, and we'll be at 1. So opponent's probably going to get this one on the back of counter magic, timely counter magic. Pollution, man, we should have done what we came here to do. I thought we were going to get away with it, but we did not. And they have. Let's try again, just for fun, basically. Ah, keep forgetting. Keep forgetting. We don't actually have to do that. Oh man, here comes the thirst. This will be their fourth counter spell because we know they have another spell pierce in their hand. Oh, it does resolve. So then we want our triggers to go on the stack in a way that, yeah, like that. If only it had haste. Domri can. We do have a mountain. Maybe that will get us there. Cause then we're gonna have to. We play the mountain. I'm gonna say we can, and then we're gonna have to. We'll be able to hit for 2, 4, but we have to tap these guys, so it won't work. So, turn 7, swinging with the team. See if they have an answer. They probably have something, right? Bounce spell, blocker. I mean, they can take a big hit and still not die, unfortunately. Because this is only going to be for 15. They'll go to 3. We'll be sad. If we got that Domri down, this would be lethal. Except they always have. They got to have something, right? The Trixies of the spirits. Mono blue spirits. Coming out to play. I'm not sure our negates are going to be that great. I mean, yeah, we can fight a counterspell battle a little bit. Up to X target creatures phase out, so they're going to go for that. Sure. Alright. It didn't matter, though. I mean, they were just being extra careful because we weren't scooping. Alright, well, Rending Volley's good. Brotherhood's End. Torch the Tower seems good. Made the mistake of taking out questing a druid before. We know, I mean, it did help. I think the gates. I'm just not sure that's where we want to be at in the matchup. I mean, I hate to take it out. Maybe I do take out some of the questing druids. I mean, this is the matchup for speed. Our opponent has counter magic and clearly a few bounce spells, but they don't have a ton of ways to interact with our turn 1 plays. Hinterland Harbor, unless I control a forest or an island. That's unfortunate. That's our ramp. That would have allowed us to have a turn 2 Domri, which is so important. We already saw the spell pierce though. We have 1 Rending Volley. I mean, we have a lot of what we want. I mean, we'll keep. I'm sad because of this. Mystic on turn 1 that we can't cast. Yeah, the mana base, work in progress, that's for sure. A work in progress. So in next turn, we can still Rending Volley something. I think we'll probably save it for something like this. Another Domri. Or we'll save it for one of their lords, I think. The spell pierces, man. Main deck spell pierce. I guess that's why you play mono blue spirits, to make room for spell pierces. A lot of counter magic from our opponent. Yep. Keep it a 1-lander on the back of some spell pierces. That's what it looks like. Enters tapped unless you control 2 or few other lands. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and bait out and get the first counter out of their hand. Spell pierce number 1. Got it. You got it, homie. You got it. Hit you back for 1. The nice thing is that we can pay for Spell Pierce next turn if that's their only counter spell. If they're holding on to, oh, they drew top deck the Timely Land. Yay for them. Yeah, I'm going to play a Lord. Another double yay for them. So we can at least kill the Lord with this Rending Volley and advance our board state. It's possible we just draw a Glorybringer and then we're fine. Although we might want to Sarkhan. Sarkhan is nice. But you know what's nicer is not having our things countered. So we can actually go Domri into Sarkhan, but then that leaves us unprotected. And then they could just kill the Domri with combat. I really do want to play the Sarkhan. Which I tapped so that I could play the Sarkhan when I should have, now that I'm going to end up Rending Volley probably, I should have just hold on, let's think about this. So we could just have them fight, right? Just empty their board. I mean, we have the mana now. We are kind of a mana-hungry deck. Can't be countered. But we should still have tapped differently. We should have gone in for 2 first. 1, 2, 3. So next turn we can go Kiora if we want into Sarkhan. Just keeping the board as clean as we can. Don't think they have hasty threats. We have a Domri we can keep ticking up, and hopefully we'll just draw into a dragon. Like a Glorybringer would be sweet. But they should be at 17 right now. Alright, so they got a Spectral Sailor. Good for them. Into an Ascendant Spirit. Alright, also good for them. More flyers. So yeah, a Glorybringer would be nice. Questing Druid can seek the beast. Or draw us a land. Do we want to go shields down into, we can go Kiora and Sarkhan. And then we lose our Domri because of our aggressive play right there. Well, maybe we'll find a kill spell off of this Seek the Beast. You know, Brotherhood's End would be nice. Preserve our Domri. That would have been a nice draw. That would have been a nice draw. So 1, 2, 3, play the Kiora, untap something. Alright, so then we're going to tap up for red. We didn't find our land, but we lost a dinosaur dragon, which is unfortunate. Could run out the Questing Druid. We can do that anytime, so I think we want to get the Sarkhan down for maximum value. Yeah, we risked it. I mean, we rolled the dice that we might find. We found the land, but we didn't find any removal. Instead, we found one of our finishers, which we would have liked to have drawn. And now we're looking at them killing our Domri and us left with things being able to get countered again. So I think maybe our aggressive play with the Mystic was wrong. Maybe we should have ticked up the Domri. Then I think we'd still be in the exact same situation we're in now, though. Except maybe we could have cast a dragon. We had the Mystic out, and we seek the salt the beast. 1, 2, 1, 2. We would have played the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we would have kept. We would have gotten the dragon out. So yeah, that was an aggressive move on our part, and we might regret it. We might be regretting it currently, actually. Tapping down. It's either going to be an answer or a threat because they don't have any counter magic. Slow playing though. Slow connection or something. Well, they're going to phase it out until... Interesting. Ah, see that this doesn't have flying. That's why. So they can't kill the Domri without phasing out the Sarkhan. Got it. Well, I mean, okay. You got it, opponent. You got it. We can go Questing Druid into Cure. Cure is better, so I mean, we just top decked it. Okay, let's see if they have an answer. I would feel a lot better. Double Bone Horde off the top. Would have felt a lot better had this. If we, oh gosh, I keep doing that. That's how little I've been able to play Sarkhan into a dragon that I keep forgetting to. That I can that it's a cost reaction to the dragon. Alright, well, here we are. Do we actually get a swing in? Do we get some value out of our Bonehorde Dracosaur when we untap, or does our opponent have an answer for 1 mana? Spell Pierce doesn't do it. This March of Swirling Mists, though, does. They have another one. Which it looks like they do. Oh, maybe not. Let's go to combat. There's a lot of, there's multiple single mana bounce spells in the format. Alright, I'm excited to see this Bonehorde Dracosaur in action if we can untap with it and get some value. Because it's a card advantage thing, right? We exile the top 2, we can play them. If we exile and we get value no matter what, if it's a land card, it's a dinosaur. If it's a non-land card, we get a treasure token. So please don't kill it. Tap 2 untap spirits you control. Tap target creature you don't control. Okay, so you tap 2 of our creatures. Tap 2 untap creatures. Okay, so they can... That's not on ETB. That's on whenever they... Okay, so that's fine. Because then they can't attack. So essentially we're left with still not... They still can't attack. We get our triggers. What do we exile? Bonehorde, baby. Yeah, we got a Glorybringer. And a Glorybringer. Wow, double Glorybringer. I think we're going to get there, folks. Ooh, we can cast with Bargain even. I don't think we want to do that, though. So they're going to tap out our 2 creatures, so we're not going to have as much fun as we would have. Do they have the Spell Pierce that they want to make us cast or pay for? I almost don't care if they want to. Yeah. Oh, so they can only tap down one. That's nice. Glorybringer number one. Do we get some triggers? Do we wipe your board with double exert? I think we might just do it. We've drawn well. We've drawn well with the dragons. I won't lie. Oh, this is where the Scoop City happens if they don't have an answer, because they're about to lose. Yeah, they're about to lose both board. Take 8, lose 2 creatures next turn. We do run it back. Wow, Boneyard Dracosaur, really impressive. Really, I mean, I knew it, the potential when you read it, and you're like, yeah, that card is pretty good. Um, do we want to bring in the gates now? They run so much counter magic. Could bring in collision. This seems like a cute answer to some things. Do we want to just take out some of our speed, bring in collision? I don't know. I really don't know. Take out a couple of these and just run it like that. So those spell pierces looked pretty bad. I think in our opponents thinking, man, these spell pierces were looking pretty bad that game. They also stumbled on mana. They missed one land drop. And then so they weren't able to get ahead. They weren't able to advance their board state while also holding up spell pierce. But when you look at the way our hand shaped up, we essentially took a whole turn off just to play a tap land. So even though they missed a land, it didn't really let us get a really fast start against them. Like, we would have gotten that Domri out on turn 2 when they only had a single creature out if we hadn't had a slow or a tap land. And so I think the way it worked out, the missing of the land drop was not that impactful to the game. They may have been wishing to have a few more lands throughout, but alright, opponent. There we go. Trying to figure out how best to defeat the dragons with their spirits. We got to see it. We got a little bit of a dream there. And we have a cavern. I love it. Alright, well, it's a very slow hand with very little by way of interact. Man, like, the cavern's good, but we could just get straight up steamrolled by our opponent's strategy. We don't have any removal. They're starting with 7. What do we do? Do we hope to draw into removal? Do we hope our opponent's keeping a reactive hand? 1, 2, 3. I think this is a hand we should probably mulligan for something slightly better, and I'm going to keep it on the back of a cavern when it doesn't look like our opponent has. They have counter magic, but a lot of it is conditional, like spell pierce. Or, alright, well, there's something there. If we want, we can always run out cavern on human, I guess. This is an answer, so if they go play a spirit this turn, we can kill it. Ascendant Spirit doesn't have flying, so we will not be killing that. Holding up that spell pierce. Opponent's really good about having spell pierces, it looks like. Drawing lands, not really what we want to see. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to... This is a pretty nice draw for giving us interaction. Do we want to try to... Probably just going to level this up. Which is, I guess, one reason we should have played this land untapped, but okay, it doesn't look like they're going to do that until the end step. Do we just run out a Sarkhan into a counter magic? I think so. See if they have the counter spell number 1. It does keep them from leveling up their Ascendant Spirit, although they could also have still do it on their turn. they do it on their turn, then we can untap dragon. Yep, there's that one. Alright, so we could have Cavern there to get that out, but I want to save Cavern for the dragons. Even though Sarkhan is powerful, he's only good with dragons resolving, and if we can't resolve our dragons, we're not going to get there. Shacklegeist, holding up mana, holding up this Geist Snare still, sure. A lot of lands. We're definitely really good about drawing the lands right now. Run it back. See if they have another one. Sandbag or Cavern for now. They do not currently have one. No. They're gonna flash in something. And the race is on, and we have 2 ways of killing things. 3 really if this Sarkhan resolves, and then they don't have one of their phasing out things. It seems like we kind of just want them to turn this into something. Spend their manas that way. Yeah. It costs 2. Okay. Next turn is 3. I see. They have to do the 2 first. Got it. Alright, well, I mean, we can hope that they're going to get in for 2. They have to tap 2 untapped spirits, so they could theoretically still cast a spirit, flash 1 in. Domri. Well, so we're going to cast a Cavern. I mean dragon. And then we are going to... I mean, we're going to go for maximum punishment with this Glorybringer. Hopefully they don't have a phase out spell. Hopefully they're holding up this Geist Flight Snare or something like that. I mean, if this is going to be a phase out spell, that's fine. We can still snipe something like this Ascendant or this. And then next turn do the Dragonhawk play, and we will still have the Collision Colossus. They're realizing it's uncounterable. That's right, opponent. You cannot counter this. Oh man. Oh man, I feel your pain sometimes, opponent. Double exert. Yep. Well, opponent was holding on to that counter magic. See if they have something. Rattle chains. Gonna give something hexproof. So that's a play. Gonna give their spirit a hexproof. I mean, if they follow this up with a Lord, I mean, we could be in trouble. But they're at 12. Let's see if I think this guy exerted. Yeah, okay, so he's not going to untap. I was hoping that since it's a glory, he is no longer a glory bringer, that he would untap, but it doesn't look like he will, which is unfortunate for us. Okay, bring in the beats. We're at 12. They're at 12. Spirits as though they had flash. We know they have a counterspell. That's a pretty good one. I mean, it doesn't... Okay. We could also run out Domri and hope. The dragons, man. The dragons are coming for you, homie. They are coming for you. That's too bad about this. I was really hoping. Could run out Domri into a counterspell. We could also just be dead to... I think we need a blocker is our best bet. Even though we don't get maximum value out of... this becoming a Bone Horde Dracosaur. It does give us more than lethal next turn. Sure. Why not? Ouch. Okay. Gonna get a spirit. We're into combat now. How do I set stop? Because I want to be able to kill this if they go to advance, if they're trying to... Because they still have Spell Pierce mana if they hold up 1 mana. So if they do put 3 into that guy, I want to be able to kill it. March. Alright, so they're going for the win right now. Is what it looks like. Okay, I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. Except that I think when it becomes our turn, we can... we'll get it. It'll come back, and we'll get this guy into... no, it doesn't trigger ETBs because it's phasing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they can swing in, flash in a Lord, we might be dead. Because they'll have Spell Pierce mana up. Go to 5. End step. What do we find? Another phase. Is that what this is? Gonna phase out all of it. 1, 2, 3. So can we do... maybe we should have killed something at the end of their turn just for mana. Alright, so they're going to phase out all 3 of our creatures. Man, they've been really lucky with the march of swirling mists. Oh. Don't think there's anything we can do about that. We do get that trigger still. That might be relevant. Tap land. Oh, gosh, the shock land hurts. We don't want the shock land. This keeps them alive, but not... I'm pretty sure these all come back on their turn. Alright, so I think what we're going to do... we're going to... 1, 2, 3. We can cast Domri. We can Collision Colossus. Or we can Fate's Tempest. Fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We get Domri out. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Dragonhawk and hope they don't kill us. Seems like they got 2 cards. What are the chances they have another? We're gonna have to shock ourselves to 3 to fight if that's the case. Or we can go green source, play the Mystic, then have the Mystic fight something. I really wish I could kill this. That's the thing that's gonna get us. What's the chances they have a land and... Just draw a card. So Mystic Fight or Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest. Man, I keep doing it. I keep doing it. I don't understand why I can't. Oh no, I did it. I did it right that time. We don't have a. All right, so that comes, and we're gonna see a few more cards. It's possible that we find a Brotherhood's End. Rending Volley. So that does change a few things. So now we can, if we shock, we can Rending Volley that. We can just Rending Volley this right now. Go to 3, and then I just don't know. Kill something? I think we have to, we're just going to have to do this. We're going to have to hope that they don't have enough lords to, they need 3 cards, right? They're going to see 3 cards. And then they're very dead next turn, unless they have some more of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't, they don't phase back in until my turn? Is that how that works? Up to X target creatures phase out. Thought they came back on my, okay, well, we have a blocker. We have a flyer, that changes things. So our flyer can block a big one. So they're going to need to either phase us out and play a lord, which they could do with 3 cards. 2 mana lord would kill us dead. Phase out the Dragonhawk. Play a 2 mana lord and attack. That would be winning. Or they can hit us to 3, so I'm glad we didn't shock. Alright, they scoop it up. Shacklegeist and spell appears. Alright, well, that was it. Hopefully that recorded. This is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Been another edition of Dragons and Pioneer. This is Johnny Cycles. If you enjoyed that gameplay, be sure to check out my website, CyclesGaming.com, where you can watch my Modern and Pioneer Jank in action, read about my Commander brews, or check out my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, that I'm publishing serially. Please be sure to click that subscribe button on YouTube. Get all the latest videos when they get released. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one.